How does a delayed inflation basket impact real prices? Imagine trying to keep track of how much things cost today, but your measuring tool is stuck in the past. That's what happens when the inflation basket isn't updated on time. An inflation basket is a collection of goods and services used to see how prices change over time. It includes items like bread, gas, clothing, and health care. These baskets help us understand how much prices are rising or falling, usually through something called the Consumer Price Index. Now, if the basket isn't refreshed regularly, it might include items that no longer reflected what people buy today. For example, if new technology like smartphones or streaming services become popular but aren't added to the basket, the index misses how much those items cost now. Or, if it still includes outdated products that have become cheaper or less relevant, the measurement gets skewed. This delay causes the inflation index to be based on old shopping habits, which can distort how we see price changes. When the inflation index doesn't match current prices, it affects how we calculate real prices. Real prices are what your money can actually buy after adjusting for inflation. If the index underestimates inflation because it's based on outdated data, it will make your purchasing power seem better than it really is. So, you might think prices are stable or rising slowly, but in reality, they could be climbing faster. That means your money doesn't stretch as far as the index suggests. On the other hand, if the basket overemphasizes cheaper or less relevant items, the inflation rate might be overstated. This can make it seem like prices are rising more than they actually are, leading to a false sense of economic hardship. Consumers could be told their cost of living is increasing rapidly, even if their actual expenses haven't changed much. This mismatch also impacts government policies and how wages or social benefits are adjusted. If the inflation measure is outdated, wages might not keep up with real price increases, reducing your buying power. Governments and central banks relying on these numbers to decide whether to raise interest rates or increase social benefits. If they are working with old data, their decisions might not match what's really happening in the economy. In practical terms, a delayed inflation basket can cause misleading inflation figures. This can lead to incorrect wage increases, pension adjustments, or policy moves. Different households might experience inflation differently depending on what they buy, but if the basket isn't updated, the overall picture becomes less accurate. So, keeping the inflation basket current is key to understanding the true cost of living and making smart economic decisions.